Hello and welcome to The 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the tinny speakers of a canary yellow Walkman. In the heart of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Keith Marsteller. And joining me from Seattle is my longtime friend who's also the creator of this show and my co-host. It's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hello, Keith. Before we start, I just wanted to get something out there.
Okay, what's that?
Well, you and I, we've been friends for a long time.
We have, yeah.
But we haven't always been.
That's true, sure.
In fact, once upon a time, we fought.
That's right.
Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you gotta get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
Not entirely. Do you want me to go back to middle school and re-meet you or something?
Sure, sounds good.
Sounds good. Anyway, yeah, I gotta get that eye of the tiger. Well, that's
eye of the tiger.
What a coincidence!
Tiger eye.
Because today we're gonna discuss the fourth matchup in our movie region, and that's gonna pit 4-seed St. Elmo's Fire, subtitled "Man in Motion" by John Parr, against 13-seed Eye of the Tiger, Joe, coincidentally, by Survivor.
Wow.
Yeah, now, St. Elmo's Fire, as many astute listeners may have guessed, is from the film entitled St. Elmo's Fire, released June 28th, 1985.
85.
And
okay.
When did we get, when did the world grace us with Eye of the Tiger, Joe?
Eye of the Tiger is from the movie Rocky III, released on May 28th, 1982.
So that's one of the older songs in our nomination process here.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. It's been around.
All right, so shall we start it off by getting a little taste of each one to try to determine which
I would
is...
love a taste.
Yeah. Before this starts, I have a definite favorite of these two songs. I don't hate either of the songs, but I don't know which one I think is the 80sist yet.
Okay, so I am the other way around. I don't care about either of these songs, but I know which one I think is the most 80st.
Interesting. All right, well, let's start off with St. Elmo's Fire,
Okay.
Man in Motion by
Let's do that.
John Parr. And here we go.
Okay, so just to point out, this intro,
Yeah.
it's real 80s.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, listen to that.
Growing up, you don't see the writing on the wall. Passing by, moving straight ahead, you knew it all. But maybe sometime if you feel the pain, you'll find you're all alone. Everything has changed. Play the game.
You know, I feel like we gotta ride it until a chorus, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, there's some nice horns.
Soldier on.
Yep.
Only you can do what must be done.
Only you can do what must be done.
You know it's some way.
Oh, this shit is about to break loose, Joe. Hang
Oh, yeah.
hang on to something.
Ah!
You're trying to break free.
Here we go.
I can see a new horizon underneath the blazing sky. I'll be where the eagles flying higher and higher. Gonna be a man in motion. All I need is a pair of wheels. Take me where my future's lying. St. Elmo's Fire.
So,
He needs a pair of wheels.
yeah. And
Not four.
no, all I need is a pair of wheels. I've got a factoid on that later.
Okay.
Because
cool,
that
cool, cool.
always puzzled me.
Indeed.
And now I know the secrets behind
Oh, I am in deep anticipation.
this. But first, while you've still got that taste,
Okay.
the aftertaste of St. Elmo's Fire in your mouth, here's a, pop in an Eye of the Tiger as a chaser and see
Okay,
what you
here we
think
go.
of this. This shit is in your face right here.
It really is.
We might get to a lyric at some point. But we might
But
not.
not before a whole lot of this.
Yeah. There's more of this than I remember.
There is so much. So much. Too much?
I mean, 50 seconds.
Rising up,
Wow.
back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You trade your passion for glory.
You do, it's true.
That's happened to me.
On the dreams of the past, you must fight.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival, and the last known survivor stalks his prey.
Pretty clever of them to work the band name into the song.
Yeah, that's
The eye of the tiger.
all right. So
Okay,
that you've essentially heard the song now after
you can
that.
smell the sweat coming off of that song.
So much to talk about here. How about if we start with St. Elmo's Fire? What do you think?
Okay, so full disclosure, I have not seen this movie.
I'll tell you, it's not. I have seen it,
Okay,
but it's not a great movie. A lot of people talk about it like it is. I did not feel it. I didn't.
can
feel
I just
it at all.
say
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah,
all.
it's
Yeah.
like a really, really subpar Demi Moore performance.
Oof.
And then it's these Brat Packers, right?
Right. This is the movie from which during which they coined that phrase, right?
That's correct. Yeah, in 1985.
Okay.
Factoid time.
All right, let's hear it.
An article was
Hit me.
written by a guy who kind of got close to Estevez. It was going to be about him. Estevez took him out to the club and was hanging out with Judd Nelson, was hanging out with Rob Lowe. And this guy, apparently this article writer was alienated from them and then wrote this hit piece about them being brats and like pretending to be talented and all this. And man, that label stuck for like 40 years, dude.
Oh yeah, no, to the point where there is a documentary coming out about this, put together by Andrew
McCarthy?
McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, hilariously, one of McCarthy's great quotes is like, they wrote it like we're this big club. I haven't seen any of these people since we wrapped St. Elmo's Fire.
Right.
And so one of the things about the Brat Pack is like if you were in Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire, those were like the lines that they delineated.
Right.
But the guy who wrote it went out of his way to explicitly point out, hey, guys, Mare Winningham is not a member of the Brat Pack. Even though she's in that movie, she's not in it. And I'm like, damn, poor Mare. That really sucks.
But was that a good thing or a bad thing? She was spared that
Maybe they were
label?
saying that she was a good actor.
Maybe.
But anyway, the entire concept of and existence of the Brat Pack is really fucking 80s. Like that is a super 80s thing to
Absolutely
exist.
I will say as well, the fact that this was directed by Joel Schumacher, who to me is exceptionally 80s.
Yeah, right.
His aesthetic is 80s. The feel. I mean, the fact that he directed Lost Boys, that's his 80s bona fides.
Let's go with bona fides, even though it's probably not correct. It sounds more natural.
Those things.
Yeah.
He's got those.
Yeah, he does. Now, it's not all about the movie,
Okay.
but the song is supposed to kind of go with and talk about the movie, right?
Yes.
So John Parr is brought in and is
Okay.
like, hey, write this song about this movie about these angsty early 20-somethings.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what really inspires me is this paraplegic guy who is wheeling across Canada on a racing wheelchair. And the guy is doing the Man in Motion tour to raise awareness of spinal injuries. This guy whose name I've forgotten. I'm sorry, that guy.
That's okay.
And
He's
so
probably
he
dead.
writes the song about that guy, calls it Man in Motion,
Okay.
and talks about all I need is this pair of wheels. He writes a song about this wheelchair athlete and then just throws in the words St. Elmo's Fire.
Wait, so sorry. Did he write the song? Is this a Maniac situation where he had this song lying around?
It
and
wasn't.
he's like-
He was asked to write a song for this movie, and he couldn't come up with anything, but he was inspired by this guy, and so he did that anyway.
was not inspired in the least by Rob Lowe.
All I need's this pair of wheels is referring to that guy's chair, and that's really cool, but it has nothing to do with the movie.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
So there you go. There's another. I've got factoids for days, son.
Well, I am factoidless on this, but what I do have is this.
Go ahead.
Let's listen to this song.
Yeah.
And the note I wrote is, this song is on cocaine.
That's fair.
And then I wrote, is St. Elmo's Fire cocaine?
No one really knows
I
what
don't
St.
know.
Elmo's Fire is.
And then I wrote, I can feel St. Elmo's Fire eating away at my nasal septum.
it's burning inside of you. Yeah.
It's burning inside of me because once it reaches that propulsive part, it just feels like a guy. He's just walking down the street and he's so only he can tell the problem. He's gonna go and he's just
This does have that kind of. I'm gonna just kind of needle drop here late in the song where he's really going for it, and it
Okay.
does sound kind of coked up.
I'll be where the eagles flying higher and higher.
Yeah. I want to be your man in motion. But yeah, somewhere in here is like the part where he screams about I can climb the highest mountains and cross
Right.
the widest
Cross
seas.
the widest
He's talking
seas.
about that wheelchair guy again, by the way. But and then he's talking about that time is now. Like
my time is now.
all this kind of overwrought.
I'm coming alive. I can hear the music playing.
Yeah, he's doing coke right there for sure.
Yeah, no, clearly,
There's no doubt.
he is entirely coked up here. Oh,
So one thing I will say in favor of
yes,
this in terms of 80s cred is I learned that this song, so John Parr is just singing, but
Okay.
backing him up, he's got members of Mr. Mister, REO Speedwagon, and
Oh.
Toto playing behind him.
God damn, that's 80.
That's so 80s, right?
Wow.
And I'm not a musician enough to know, but this is a #1 hit, and it has tons of either horns or synth horns, or I can't
Right.
tell if they're real or not.
Yeah, no, me either.
But there's so many of them,
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
It's lousy with them.
and I think he has a real drummer from Mr.
Okay.
Mister, but he's banging on those electronic drum pads that give you that
Right.
sound
Right,
instead of an actual acoustic sound, that was very 80s.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's the case, right? It's from one of the most 80s movies.
Yes,
It's
it's
got
got
a lot of
80s cred in the music and the musicians that were on it. Okay. All
So
right.
that's the case kind of for it. I don't know if you have any other thoughts against or for it.
I don't have anything any thoughts against this. I mean, I don't love the song
Yeah, that's fair.
at all. It's not. I wouldn't choose to listen to this.
If
I
it
would
weren't,
probably, if this came up on a playlist, I would probably
you just hit skip. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't need this song. I don't need John Parr. One thing I wrote down is there's parts of this where you can really see, if you picture in your head John Parr performing this on stage, you can kind of imagine the greased-up sax player from Lost Boys, joining him on stage to perform this.
Like they met through the director.
Through Joel Schumacher. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's coming on there to perform this, like a guest spot.
Oh, that would be incredible. Yeah. I'm picturing that right now. Thanks for that visual. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And you're welcome, America.
You're welcome, America. So, Eye of the Tiger then.
Eye of the Tiger.
Cases for and against. What have you got for me?
All right, so a case that this is a very, very 80s song is that, and it's not the song, it's the movie. The movie features both Mr. T and Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, Mr. T is Clubber Lang.
Yeah, this is the film that made Mr. T. He didn't have he got the A-Team based off of this. His line, "I pity the fool," which is from this, and then he carried it over throughout the rest of his life.
He literally says it pretty much every day. And
That's
if you've
right.
got a Mr. T action figure and you squeeze the chest of it, it would say, "I pity the fool," and
that's right.
Stay in school.
And then maybe eat some broccoli.
Right. He
might say that. I don't know.
He did try to use his fame for positive things.
Absolutely.
Mr. T did.
No, I have nothing but love for Mr. T. I truly, truly do.
So it is super 80s movie, especially for those reasons. I mean, obviously the original was in the mid-70s.
Right.
But by the time it kind of became a cartoonish caricature of the grittier original,
yes,
and I believe there are ended up being 6 Rocky movies if you count a couple years ago's Rocky Balboa as the
right.
And now there's 3 Creed movies also from that universe. So there's a 9
also featuring Stallone. So
yeah, there's a 9 movie arc where he plays this same guy. Never let it go.
No, not when you can make money from it.
Yes.
My one note on this song was that it kind of feels like the official anthem of unearned white male confidence.
All right. Well, I did have a note that it is anthemic. Like it was a number 1 song. It's kind of an iconic song. Like almost any person of any age group has heard it at a sporting event or at a something, right?
Yes.
Unlike St. Elmo's Fire. They don't play St. Elmo's Fire on 4th down and 2 or something, right?
No.
Yeah.
But they might have a montage up on the Jumbotron, with either with
for sure. Because this is maybe the training montage song of all training montage songs.
Absolutely. And that is where it really has some 80s cred.
Yeah. It really
Absolutely.
has. I mean, and it, So Stallone wanted Queen's Another One Bites the Dust. Here's your factoid of the day for this one.
Oh my God. I did not know this.
He wanted Another One Bites the Dust for that training montage. And Queen was kind of strung him along and then denied him. They were like, nope, don't think so. We're not going to do it.
I love Queen so much for that.
Yeah, me too. And so then he's like, well, hey, destitute band, unknown band Survivor, could you write us something?
Yes.
And they were like, okay. And to their credit, whatever you want to say about this song, they took lines from and things that happened in the movie and put them in the song, like trading your passion for glory, right?
Right. Thematically, this song melds much better than writing a song about a guy in a wheelchair for some college kids.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
Absolutely.
And so he heard the demo of this, Stallone, and was like, that's it. And he took the one demo and used it. And they were like, well, we were going to re-record it, but he used the demo version.
So hang on. Is the demo version what was released?
So Survivor, in their album, re-recorded it, but the demo version is what's in the film.
Okay.
So as a single, you would have gotten what I just played. I think in the film, it's like a slightly rougher version of it.
So here's the thing: is I was hoping that we listened to the part that the version we all know is the rough version, because man. My note here is: do these guys all just learn their instruments? Because
that's funny because I have a similar note. Go ahead.
This features the most boring bass line in music history.
While we were listening to a minute and plus of it, I was sitting there going, playing one air bass note, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that guitar. So can we listen? It's at 312.
312. Let me drop
the
a
most
needle.
famous guitar part from this.
All right, let's sneak our way out. All right, here we go. Here we go.
I mean, as anthemic guitar solos go,
Yeah.
that's,
Power chords
that's
like crazy.
real lame.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no skill there.
I think I could learn that in a couple of hours.
I think if you handed any 12-year-old who had never played a guitar, they could probably do that in about 20 minutes.
So it's a really basic song.
Yes. It's like you handed someone with no woodworking skills some wood, and they just kind of sawed off a piece of board and then hammered some nails into it and painted it white with a big brush, and then that's what it feels like. It's got no skill level to me whatsoever.
Wow. Well, okay. I mean, that's fair. I do have the note that it's a really simple song too. Which, yeah. But the thing about it though is my downside to it. Like, I love the montage. I love the fact that the franchise is super 80s, iconic #1 song. It won the Grammy for best rock performance, if you can believe it, even as simple as it is.
I can't.
But the thing I have going against it is the simplicity. I mean, it's a guitar and drums and a bass, and there's no synth, there's no horns. There is this overly dramatic thing going on, which is very 80s. But, that's the kind of one thing musically it could have come out in the 60s or 70s with some of those like Steppenwolf type, maybe it's a little, it's just driving bass and guitar and
I would say additionally the fact that, as you noted, this has survived. Joe.
Unlike the lead singer, rest in power.
There you go. Yeah. Oh boy. This has lived on.
Yeah.
Has found another life and sporting events all over the place.
True.
So it kind of surpassed the decade.
Oh, in that sense. Yeah,
doesn't necessarily belong to the decade in the way that St. Elmo's Fire really does.
Yeah.
Are you ready to lay down your judgment?
To reveal? Yeah, go ahead.
To reveal your pick?
I'm ready.
Because for me, St. Elmo's Fire, with its horns or synth horns and its definite cocaine use, to me feels so very much more 80s.
In this case, I completely agree. My vote is going to St. Elmo's Fire, but the great news is, if you disagree with us, well, vote differently, right, Joe?
That's right. And if you want to cast a vote, you can take a look at our Substack, which is it's the substack.com/@the80sist. We can also be reached by email if you have just a comment if you want to dispute the use of cocaine in this. You can email us at the80sist@gmail.com. That's THE80SEST@gmail.com. And you can find all of our music lists on Spotify by searching for The 80sist.
Awesome. So, join us next time on The 80sist when we will explore our next matchup. 6 Ghostbusters versus 11. The Power of Love. Gotta be a barn burner. Until then, on behalf of Joe, this has been Keith saying, don't ever let the fire go out. Or do, I guess. We don't really give a shit.
Balboa is so predictable and stupid. I don't hate Balboa, but I pity the fool.